Greetings, geeks! Welcome to episode 553 of Geeks in Space. I am Rob, Commander Taco Malda, and joining me today in Pretend Orbit to talk about probably pretty much Marvel stuff, we have Rob Roseboom.
That's me.
And Chris DeBona.
Hello.
We have a lot of things actually on the list today, but I feel like if we really put our mind to it, we probably could spend 33 straight minutes doing nothing but talking about the 37 different Star Trek or Star Wars series, the 87 Marvel series.
Well, I mean, so much has happened over the last 3 days. We had Cyberpunk 2077 come out, right? We had our review of the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Epic.
We had like 1,000 Disney Plus series announced. I was watching trailers for like a half hour.
Right, 6 of them have already been canceled.
I mean, where the heck do they think that people are going to find the time to watch all this crap? You know?
That's true. It would be interesting now to start placing bets on how many will never actually see the light of day.
Well, no, the thing about it is, okay. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you the future. Okay. I'm seeing the future, man. Right. So they're going to come out with like these 6 series. Right. And some of them are going to do spectacularly well. And some are going to go over like season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, just completely like a lead balloon. Right. Sure. And so what they're going to do is they're going to stunt cast between the shows and with the stars from the movies.
Of course.
Right. And so what's going to happen is people like me who cannot afford the time to watch 19,000 series at once, I'm going to lose track. I'm not going to realize, wait a second, I missed the episode where they brought Skiff from Thor's universe over and the Skrull guy into Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because it's not going to do well.
So here's where you're wrong.
Kind of juice it with Skrull.
Here's where you're wrong.
Juice it with a Nick Fury appearance.
I think that what's going to actually happen, first of all, they gave us one really nice clue, which is that the Lando series in particular is specified as a limited series. I think it would be better for you logically to think of every single one of these as a limited series, in which case, which goes back to what I've been saying all along, which is they would be better served, particularly historically the Marvel Cinematic Universe, by doing 3, 4, 7, 8 episode runs, just like a comic, right? You give a comic book is given to a writer, he gets 12 issues, 6 issues, and then he's out. Give it to a writer, give him 6 episodes.
So you think they're going to embrace the BBC model, write a solid, decent story, and they're going to peace out after the end of the run?
I think that what they've done with The Mandalorian so far is, if you look at the directors of the first season, several of the directors from the first season got their own show, and from the second season, some of the characters are getting their own show. So if you think of it that way, and the other thing that, to Chris's other point, is that a season of The Mandalorian is 8 episodes. So if they successfully release all 10 of those shows, which they announced yesterday just for the Star Wars universe, that is 80 hours of TV, which is less than 4 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because that the networks, they have usually like 22 episode seasons. So 8 seasons of Star Wars that are theoretically probably going to come out over 2021 and 2022. You're actually talking about the equivalent of only 2 shows if you put it into the context of how TV worked 10 years ago. So I don't actually think it's that much, but I also think that what's going to happen is that 2 of the shows are going to be crap or maybe not even make it through production.
Yeah, more. I mean, honestly, I'm not optimistic about She-Hulk. I'm not optimistic about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm not optimistic about, frankly, a ton of these. These are going to go over badly.
So What If is one of my favorite titles.
For sure.
DC used Elseworlds, which is basically the same thing. I love twists on stories like that. But I'm not sure that is going to be
animated. It's going to be easy for them to do it. It's not going to be mainstream, but it will be fun for nerds like us.
I think that stuff is perfect because that stuff, they can do it animated. It can be 8 or 9 episodes. They're only 20 minutes long, 30 minutes long. They're short stories. I think that they could roll that out.
It's going to be cheap.
Kind of like how they do Rick and Morty now, where you get like 3 episodes and then you wait a year for the next 3.
Right.
Yeah, actually, this is going to be the Rick and Morty / Star Trek's what was that, Lower Decks?
Yeah,
Lower Deck.
Of the Marvel universe, and we'll end up hating it. No, what if they do it cheap and they do it right? It could be great because it's not going to hit mainstream appeal. Most people are going to be like, "What is this gibberish? I don't care about this." Right?
I'm really sort of dreading the I Am Groot show too. I think that's going to be probably pretty terrible.
I didn't watch the trailer for it, so I don't know. Or is there one?
I was thinking though this morning, for me, the key to The Mandalorian is I don't know that I've ever watched a television show that was more like watching a live action Dungeons and Dragons game.
Right.
It is almost as if you are just watching a live action version of those classic modules that you like.
Yeah.
It's not too deep, but it's set up exactly like a Dungeons and Dragons game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's also more appropriately set up like a classic old serial Western.
Right.
And like Christine, my wife, was watching, she's like, this is just the old Westerns. This is practically a spaghetti Western.
Oh,
yeah, very much so.
Yeah. And if you think about it, maybe that was a big influence for
you're watching Space Clint Eastwood, right?
Exactly.
I
but
think
it's also I think that Mandalorian, you give it another season, more than that though,
it's done.
I think it's not. I think it loses that which makes it special.
The whole Western vibe really suits itself to certain types of sci-fi, though. I mean, Firefly was fantastic that way too.
Was it though?
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Sort of
for a couple
Western-y.
seasons it works, but then I think it's okay to just say, you know what, we're done.
But I don't think that's an attribute of a space Western. I think that's the attribute of once most TV shows get up to around 20 hours, they either have to be Sopranos level good or they start to fizzle. That's just the rule of thumb. And my hope is that by doing it the way that they're doing it, so let's say they end Mandalorian after 3 seasons. Great, fantastic. The good actors go on and get a spin-off because one of the writers has a good story to tell. It's not about them. It doesn't have to be about Mando. It can be about Ahsoka. And when Ahsoka's dried up, it doesn't have to be about Ahsoka anymore. They can go on and move and tell a story about somebody else, even in a different era of the Star Wars universe. I think this is the way, as they say, this is the way that you make this work. And I think if I'm mathing this out correctly, they're not that far off away from basically having one new episode of something every week for like the next 2 years.
Okay, I want to roll back to a Marvel thing that you pointed out in Taco Zone, and I actually think is not a good idea. Okay, so we all loved when J. Jonah Jameson showed up at the end of Spider-Man.
Oh no, you're talking about Molina,
right?
Oh, it's so worse.
But we've got Tim Roth, we've got Alfred Molina, we've got a pile of frankly not very successful characters who are now coming back into mainline Marvel. I think this is a huge mistake.
No, you're missing the point. Did you see
this
the
is
list?
Stunt casting. This is pre-release stunt casting. They've already decided this is not going to work.
They've got Kristen
so they're bringing
Dunst.
in Tim Roth.
They've got Kristen Dunst. They've got Andrew Garfield. They've got okay, this is the multiverse. They're literally going to have one scene,
and that's cool. That's cool, but for She-Hulk, they're bringing back the Abomination, Tim Roth. They're bringing back Thaddeus Ross. They're bringing a lot of, frankly, really crappy things from past movies, thinking that we cared about them and liked them. We didn't. I worry about Alfred Molina coming back, but he's such a good actor. Yeah. It's like I
think the intent, whether or not they succeed or not, I think the intent is honorable. They're going to go back. They're going to get the characters that were fun. But so here's the thing: when we talk about
Tim Roth wasn't fun.
I'm not I'm not disagreeing with you. But what I'm telling you, what I guess my point here is that we spend so much time saying, well, let's remake Star Trek. I was like, well, you know what? Star Trek was fine. We don't have to remake Star Trek. Let's go take something that could have been great and make it great. And guess what? Hulk sucked.
Let's do a do-over. Let's mulligan.
That's what we're doing. I think that what they're going to do is they're going to use the multiverse as justification to pull out things that had unused potential. And I think that that is the right way to handle this. I think that they had some really good casting, and they could have a lot of fun with this.
Hulk did not smash, number one. And number two, the Tim Roth abomination is terrible.
For sure.
Not necessarily because of the way he was acted or portrayed, although that was terrible. Just the way the abomination has a very iconic look, right? And the Tim Roth abomination looked nothing. It would be like if you made Rhino and he wasn't a guy in a rhinoceros suit. You know,
King Shark,
I'm just
and he wasn't
Rhino, but I look like an elephant. You know?
And King Shark he was just a lone shark. He wasn't an actual shark.
Right, you know, it just made no sense.
I think what it looks to me like is that the movies that came from the studios that were not the actual Marvel studio, and that was is it Paramount that owns the Hulk? I can't remember. So the Hulk and the Spider-Man movies are each co-productions with a different studio, and I think that the different studios they intentionally veer away from the design of the comic books, and I think that they do it in different places for liability reasons. I think that it's to protect their ownership of the characters. They have to maintain a certain level of difference between the versions that they portray and the versions that exist in other versions. I think that's a contractual thing. I think that's part of it, and I think there's intent behind that, and I think that's why some of those characters look like crap.
Wow, maybe. So the other thing I want to know, they mentioned Secret Wars. They didn't give a trailer. No. They mentioned Ironheart, which I'm actually really looking forward to because I actually kind of like that story quite a bit, and it has a potential to actually be something kind of new, right, in the Marvel universe. So it's like, there are a couple that I'm like, oh, that could be really good or really bad, but at least it'll be something interesting, right? As opposed to like rehashing Tim Roth, you know.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think that they're going into very interesting territory, but I can tell you one thing: they're going to get so many darn subscribers. They hit 83 million subscribers to Disney Plus. Sure. They're gonna get close to Netflix territory, which is 200 million worldwide or whatever. So it's like.
And it's a different dice roll, right? I mean, Netflix, when they're rolling the dice, they got $1 billion, and they're rolling the dice 150 times. Disney's rolling the dice like 20 times, but most of those rolls are in the MCU or the Star Wars universe. It's a different set of dice rolls. Honestly, I'm fine with either mechanism. If we get reasonable content. I bet half of these shows suck.
The Disney, the Pixar, the Marvel, the Star Wars. I mean, they're solid through like the late 20s, from birth to the late 20s. And I hate to say it, when Disney pulled content from Netflix, it was kind of over.
That hurt
for kids and parents. It really hurt them. Mm-hmm. And I wonder how long it's going to last, So, because Netflix wants to go upmarket and be HBO. Right. HBO, though, is like, no, we got this. We're going to do whatever we can to be relevant to adults.
Oof, HBO is all in.
Well, yeah, man. And the whole thing about so much happened over the last 3 days.
I know.
Warner, like all the blowback on the Warner Brothers decision. It's just like, it's really interesting.
Okay.
And the thing is, remember, Disney has taken an enormous hit because of COVID's, work on its cruise lines and the parks, and it's, but Disney Plus is through the roof.
Okay, and let me just shovel through a few of these because this is kind of amazing. I mean, I don't care about a Turner and Hooch reboot, but
what?
I know.
Wait, there's a Turner and Hooch reboot,
right? So more seasons of It's Always Sunny, an Alien TV show. The Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show with Ewan McGregor is getting Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader. The Ahsoka show, maybe that'll work. Rangers of the New Republic, that's at least Dave Filoni's got it. I don't care about Andor. The Bad Batch is meh. I mean, The Acolyte is actually directed by the woman, like half of the creative force behind Russian Doll. So I'm all in on that because Russian Doll was awesome. There's a new Indiana Jones, a Willow TV show.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
With Warwick Davis. A Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers movie, but with no joke, it's the Lonely Islands guys doing it.
That could be great.
That could that's one of those things.
Like those other Chippendale
I don't care about that.
They were an abomination.
But imagine.
But they can do it. Yeah.
So I think about the Lego movie. The Lego movie would have been stupid if not for Lord and Miller behind it. Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Hey, if they let them run with it, maybe it'll be fun. I don't know. Pixar's got a whole ton of crap. They're doing Pixar TV shows. This is nuts, man. Oh, the Buzz Lightyear prequel movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Is it the origin story of the plastic
I'm
used
going
to
to call
make
it.
him?
Disney Plus is going to have 140 million subscribers by this time next year. Maybe
140?
150.
150? I bet not that high, but I bet they're at like 80 now. I bet they're closer to your number than to 80.
Yeah, I mean, because even if half these things flop,
yep,
the completionists are gonna love it.
Yep.
The parents are gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, I've got 6 more months of COVID lockdowns. Yep. Pass the iPad to the kid. Put Disney Plus on. I can trust it. I'm out." So it's like,
I think WandaVision is going to be cool. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier. Cool, I think really Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to actually be cool, but only because I think they're going to throw the kitchen sink in there.
Well, they're going to have to, because Bucky Barnes can't carry that stuff, and
that's right.
That's
exactly right.
So
Loki, I don't care about, but I like him, so they could do some weird fun.
He's delightful.
I couldn't tell from the trailer what was going on.
Yeah.
Like, is he basically going through time doing hilarious hijinks?
I hope so.
Is that what's going on? Because if so, I'm on board, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the whole DV Cooper scene at the end. I'm like, wait, what? This is their time travel show. This is a better version of Legends of Tomorrow. This is a better version.
He's the god of mischief, after all.
He's the god of mischief.
That's a great
premise. He's
premise.
Go mischief things up. It's.
She-Hulk has Tatiana Maslany and Mark Ruffalo. I'm all in.
I'm sorry.
I'll give it a chance, but
I'll watch anything with I'd watch Tatiana Maslany open a mall, but it's not going to be good. I'm going to be suffering through that show.
The Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
That's going to be horrible. It's going to be awful. It's going to be the holiday special all over again. Are they animating it, having B. Arthur?
So there's going to be another Ant-Man movie, but besides all of the other things we've talked about, are you ready for it, Chris?
I'm ready.
The director of Spider-Man is making Fantastic Four.
Wait, which Spider-Man?
It's hard to tell now that everybody from every Spider-Man movie ever made is now going to be in the next Spider-Man.
Oh, and there's
not going to work.
Also, for your love of stretchy powers, Miss Marvel is getting her own show.
Yep.
It's not going to be good.
I like Miss Marvel too.
You cannot film stretchy powers without it just being a disaster. And half the time it ends with the stretchy power person ending up being a racist too.
So. I think your premise right there is like this golden shiny thing that every director wants to reach out and grab, because I think that your statement has so far been so 100% true that every director just like, I want to put a stretchy guy in because I want to prove that it can be done.
Yeah, and when it's done well, I'll be the first to admit, okay, someone pulled off Fantastic Four. Right, because it's not grim, it's not Johnny Storm, it's not Jessica Alba, it's the stretchy guy. And to a lesser degree, Doctor Doom is ridiculous.
Yeah.
See, I think that the Fantastic Four comes down to, if you cast a family that is convincingly a family, it'll work.
I think for them, though, I think Chris is right on the Doctor Doom thing. I think as important as the Fantastic Four is the villain that they choose to put in.
Yeah.
And Doctor Doom could be cool. Galactus could. I mean, I love Galactus, but how do you make a giant purple dude who sucks all the life force out of a planet?
Isn't that Thanos?
No.
Different purple dude.
And make it not look cheesy. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Part of the problem is it's just so old that some of their villains are just stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they had stupid villains back then.
Yeah, I mean, like Kraven the Hunter, or like the Rhino. I mean, there's some pretty dumb stuff in there.
Right.
But I don't know.
So,
I mean, I think that the key takeaway from this is that Disney Plus is going to have something on it once every 10 days for the next 2 years that people are going to at least be interested in. And it's just a different thing than the hype that you get in the 8 to 10 weeks that leads up to a film. And I think that's interesting. I think it'll work. And I don't think it'll all land. But I will watch 80% of it. But you are talking to somebody who watched Tenet 3 times this week.
You still haven't figured it out.
I got it now. I got it.
Oh, okay, good.
All right.
I watched like 4 episodes of Batwoman. So
No.
Well, was that the one with the Kane one?
Yeah, the new one that sucked.
Oh, man, you took a bullet for us. I appreciate that. So, did y'all play 2077 yet?
I got I'm like a half hour into it, and I tell you, I spent enough time trying to figure out which genitals to give my character that I decided I can't make this game. I can't let my kids see this game, so it's gonna have to wait till I can do it when they're not around.
did you go with dolphin genitals? They're prehensile, you know.
Yeah, it's wind chimes.
Wind chimes. Yeah. I hit the random button 2 or 3 times, and I started playing because I just don't care what I look like in a mirror in a game that's single freaking player. It's like, seriously. Yeah. So I picked. Did you pick Street Kid or Nomad?
I picked Street Kid, and I unsurprisingly made a cute redhead.
Oh, look at you! How very gaming. Robert, did you try this out yet, or are you not digging in? Yeah,
no, I might.
You probably saw me on the channel today talking about it with the boys.
Yeah.
I was. So it looks great. I had no problems with bugs because I have a stupidly over provisioned machine. But like every time I fired the gun, it felt like I was firing through molasses. And I switched mice. I went to a wired mouse. I mean, it was just like, dude, I want to feel it when I pull the trigger, right, in a game like this. And it's just, yeah. So I'm hoping that gets a little better, So
the weird thing is, I hardly spend any of my free time playing video games anymore.
Right?
Yeah, the job ruined it for you.
I mean, honestly, I'm running around in there a lot. So
I don't. This is the first game that I've ever played with DLSS on, and I think I have to kill that because it's blurry, and I don't know if that's just because I got a 2070, and I don't know if that's fast enough just to keep up with a 2K monitor and not look blurry, or maybe I should try it in the other mode.
You know what DLSS does?
Yes,
right?
I do, and that's why I think it's getting blurry.
I would just shut it off.
But I love the reflecting water. It's so pretty.
You'll still have it. That's not what DLSS does. DLSS basically renders at a higher rendering resolution and then scales it down to yours to make it a nicer experience. But I
think you got that backwards.
Is it the other way around?
Normally, you don't scale images down to fit them on bigger monitors, but
Anyway.
Yeah.
Because I was doing DLSS at like 4K in the game to do it on a HD rendering. I don't know, Robert, you were doing this, weren't you? You correct us, make us right.
I can tell you.
No.
All DLSS does is lets you ray trace a smaller screen and scale it up with a little bit of bonus ML. That's all it is. It's just intelligent scaling with your ray tracing. So you can render at 1K on the GPU, scale it up to 4K, and basically the settings just render you. It's how many steps down, how many resolutions down you're rendering versus how many you're displaying. I just got to turn it off. I think I just think a 2070.
So I've heard that if you set a certain kind of shadow at medium, you increase your frames by like 5-20%. I mean, it's crazy.
See, I'm okay with my frame rates. My frame rates they're not great, but they're certainly, because I mean I've gamed at 60 frames per second most of the time. I have a monitor that's faster, but I don't care really. The problem is that it's just blurry. It doesn't look crisp, and I think that's the nature of ray tracing. I think that they're like not casting enough rays for me, and I think DLSS is making it worse. The bug that Nate posted, I think there's that Nate or not me. It's the weightlifting one. It's cute.
Yeah, that was funny.
So there was a drug mix-up where they accidentally switched up the depression meds and the penis meds.
Although, that might fix it too.
Yeah,
Gotta be honest.
Sometimes people's feelings are connected to the use of their junk. So,
Yep. Chinese flight attendants are now advising people to wear diapers when you go on airplanes.
So we have two Chinese stories, right?
The flight attendants are wearing the diapers.
Oh, I thought they were advising people to wear diapers.
No. They are advising the flight attendants to wear diapers.
Oh, that's so much worse. Those poor ladies.
Right.
I mean, they should give them their own bathroom or something. I mean, there's like 6 on a big old plane.
That sucks.
Just imagine walking back and forth up and down those aisles in a diaper.
The chafing.
No good.
Do they give them all like some Vaseline to take care of the redness? I mean,
they can't give them talcum powder anymore because that causes cancer.
Well, it's made of asbestos, so.
Dear God.
Dear goodness.
Human-made materials now outweigh the Earth's entire biomass.
Wait, before we go there, so let me ask you a question. So $340,000 worth of RTX 3090s fell off a truck in China. So that's like, what, 4 of them? Anyway, so, and then maybe the diapers are for the video cards. Like you just stash them down your diaper.
They're smuggling?
Mm-hmm. It's smuggling diapers.
So a 3090 is a 3-slot card.
Yep. That's right.
And this is, Chinese.
I'm sorry. Are you body shaming the flight attendants?
Well, what I'm saying is, statistically speaking, flight attendants tend to be women, and statistically speaking, Chinese people tend to be smaller than Westerners.
Sure.
So, all I'm saying is, these people who are going to be, like, I don't know where I would hide a 3090 on my person, and I am.
Oh, I know where I'd hide mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can have it like on a holster between your legs, like a gun.
Like a Lara Croft pistol on each hip.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Also,
good chunk.
Like 340,000. That's not a whole lot for this scam. So they should have, gotten.
That's like, honestly, that's probably 2 cardboard boxes full of 3090s.
200 cards.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 200. Is that what it is?
I don't know. Well, those cards go for 1,500 each.
Yeah. I wonder if they're doing that thing they used to do with like when they do a drug seizure, where they figure it out what the street value of the cards are. So they look at the current scalping rate. So if they're scalping out at $5,000 a pop, it's really only like,
Although, like, I'm sure you've seen pictures of people who get caught, smuggling songbirds or other things like that. I mean, it is amazing how much material and where you can hide stuff,
Yeah. No, I was completely unconnected to this. I was driving around the island yesterday. I was visiting the transfer station to drop off some recycling. And my daughter saw a lost pet sign, but it was a lost parakeet. And I'm like, that's not coming back. That's, you clearly put that sign up so the kid would know that you did, but that's never coming back.
There is undoubtedly a falcon somewhere on the island now.
Oh, yeah. Or an owl. I mean, we have tons of owls, around here.
All right.
One woke my daughter up last night with its caw,
I got 2 stories left. They're probably both short, but
okay. What you got?
Breakdancing is going to be an Olympic event in 2024.
That's stupid.
So I mean,
it's no stupider than ice dancing, though.
Well, and no stupider than the floor routine in, really, what is the difference in the gymnastics floor routine and breakdancing?
Pop-ups.
What about dressage?
Dressage, yeah. Isn't the horse?
Yeah, there's a lot of crap. There's a lot of crap in the Olympics.
Yeah.
I wonder, though, like, are they, like, what is the official way of setting up your breakdancing mat?
Everybody has to bring their own piece of cardboard.
I was going to say, do you have to bring your own cardboard? Or
is there an Olympic standard cardboard? And, knowing the Olympic Committee, they probably like sell off the cardboard rights to Weyerhaeuser or something.
Yeah.
And,
if it's the wrong gauge of cardboard,
by Weyerhaeuser.
there becomes a big controversy because the Ukrainian team was using cardboard that's the wrong gauge. And so their medals get revoked.
Yeah, and like they had one side of their cardboard was waxed, you know,
Ooh.
like they're basically juicing their cardboard.
And do you get extra points for wearing authentic 80s gear?
Mm.
Right, right. Like,
Not
and if you
knockoff.
manage to
Right.
swing your clock Flavor Flav style, are you extra? Is that an extra point?
See, I think
Go
they
in the
should.
closet and find the fluorescent shoestrings.
Mhm.
You know,
It should
Yeah.
probably be like, but like ice dancing, where they have to wear the uniform. Like all the team members wear the exact same uniform for the ice skating events. But then there's a freestyle competition, and that's when they're allowed to really kick it old school.
I mean, honestly, I got to tell you, I think that the physicality of these breakdancers is incredible.
I would
right?
I will watch
be
this.
clear.
oh yeah,
Right?
there's
I mean, this is skill, right? And I can see how you can make it a sport, but it is a little ridiculous. It's a little ridiculous. It's like I'm also picturing like the original Olympics, all the naked, oiled up, Greeks competing, and then they have like a breakdancing section with like klezmer and flute.
so there's actually a pretty famous jiu-jitsu school called 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu that is pretty much just breakdancers because the physicality and the range of motion that these people have turns out is perfect for getting joint locks and chokes on people.
Yeah. Well, I would point out, capoeira, which is the Brazilian, fighting jujitsu, is basically dancing. So it's beautiful. But I will also point out, so let's draw a line, right? So John Chu, Crazy Rich Asians, used to be the director of the League of Extraordinary Dancers, who are a bunch of breakdancers. So it's like maybe this is just the logical extent of the rise of Asia in the Olympic Games. Just saying,
Mostly, I've just spent the last minute and a half thinking about how I really wish I could see Play-Doh popping and locking.
Right?
Yeah.
So the last one that I had on the list is a bit of a sad one, but Tony Lister died.
Yeah, Debo's gone. The vid got him.
Yep, got by COVID.
Wait, where is this? Is it on the?
It's on the page. Although you might have to do like a reload or something. But I mean, for me, he's the Fifth Element.
Yeah, he's Debo for me.
Sure. I just I don't know. In my house, we watch The Fifth Element about once a year.
It's such a good movie. I don't think it's not on proper.
I mean, it's not on yours.
I reloaded.
I don't know what to tell you, man. It's literally on mine.
We didn't discuss it, but we mentioned it. The fact that the biomass of the planet now is outweighed by the amount of things we've made. And that may not sound that impressive at first until you consider trees and grass and oceans. Right?
Tommy Lister is amazing. I love this guy. He died?
He got the vid, man.
That sucks.
So now is
he got
part
coronavirus?
Is he part of the biomass now, or is he part of the man-made material now?
No, he's still biomass.
Oh, okay.
Man. Well, let me point something out. All right. So it's biomass versus constructed artificial stuff.
Yep.
Okay. I don't buy it yet, but okay. It's just there's so much biomass.
The amount of
plastic
alone.
Do we count oil as biomass?
Ooh.
Or we only count it as constructed stuff when we refine it and make things from it? Because the amount of oil that's underground is still insane.
Yeah, I don't think they count oil. Right. They will count it when they turn it into products.
Compressed
when it's plastics.
And there's a lot of fish.
The amount of plastic alone is greater in mass than all land animals and marine creatures combined, according to this.
I would like to see the numbers.
You gonna go read the paper?
I think we should read the paper.
Go get on archive.
Although the animals, it's the plant life, I think, that has got to be the biggest, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, just like algae.
Right.
I don't know. I guess I doubt a little bit.
Okay.
Plankton.
Here's the crazy one for you. On average, every person in the world is responsible for the creation of human-made matter equal to more than their body weight each week.
But not biomatter. It's not like us pooping.
No, I don't. I mean,
unless you,
I don't change your diet.
Your body weight, right? If you're pooping your body weight every week, wow, well done, sir.
Well done, sir.
You are for sure
poorly done.
Fiber.
Yeah. Oh, gentlemen, it's time to say goodbye.
Well, because you think about it, milk can be turned into a plastic with the
milk plastic.
Yeah, milk plastic is a very real thing. That's what Bakelite was made from. Anyway, yeah. So maybe you have a person with a decayed inside because they're horrible or whatever, and they generate enough formaldehyde in their body that when combined with the milk from their body, they're actually generating plastic personally.
Chris, if you're pooping plastic, you should talk to your doctor.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. I mean, that's definitely but given the cost of healthcare in this country, I'm sure that there's lots of plastic poopers who are, not going to get any help. And also the use of microplastics in our cosmetics and abrasives and the rest, I mean, has probably led to a lot of us pooping a lot of plastic, just saying. But it's more
the microplastics is a huge one. There was a story just not too long ago about how basically everyone is full of microplastics.
Yeah.
Everything is full of microplastics.
And what benefit? I'm not waterproof, really, because what's the upside to the microplastics in my body? It's like I'm not turning into the Hulk when I'm angry.
You have an increased buoyancy.
I'm not more durable. I burn my hand and I had a little burn here. It wasn't made any better because of plastics, Well,
maybe you just don't have enough plastics in you yet.
Maybe I need to eat more plastic. Okay, well,
right.
That's right. Here's a.
All right, that's your lunch.
Right.
My teeth are pretty strong. Maybe it's because of the plastic I've been honing them on.
Sure.
So.
Right.
Teeth are notoriously known by science to be made mostly of what PVC, and.
All right.
That's super gross. I'm going to leave you to your food, Chris.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to eat that. Thank you for having me.
Goodbye, Chris DeBona.
Bye.
Goodbye, Rob Roseboom.
See you later.
I'm Rob Commander Taco Malta. This has been episode 553 of Geeks in Space. We'll see you Tuesday.